Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday. It is April the 21st. We'll start off talking about my face. Yes, I have a fat lip. I went to the dentist this morning, 8 a.m., bright and sunshiny early. It's the one time of day that I can go to the dentist and not have to worry about it interfering with my video time. I gave it as long as I could today to start making videos, but I don't think this lip's gonna drop in size until probably later on tonight. So here we are. But yeah, so that's where the fat lip comes from. And I figure it's playoff hockey going on too, so I kind of fit in with a lot of the other guys who've got fat lips right now around the NHL. So we'll start at the top of the board. That's normally how these things work. The Vancouver Canucks are being the Vancouver Canucks. They have asked for and been granted permission to talk to Kevyn Adams about the GM job in Vancouver. So, and I've already seen Peter Chiarelli's name being rattled around out there. Yeah, this could end up being the funniest thing ever. It absolutely could. And it makes me wonder, if we talk about players not wanting to go there, are there GMs that wouldn't want to go to Vancouver? Are there available GMs right now that if you called them and said, we'd like you to come in and interview for the Vancouver job, that they would say, not interested? Is that what's going on? Because that's a good way for an organization to really go through some suffering. So, at any rate, we'll see. Not like Ryan Johnson isn't a really good option or anything. So, but you got Manny Malhotra for coach. They're both right there. Anyhow, one thing I did want to point out in this too is when they're looking, I hope they look for, I'd like to see a younger GM. I'd like to see somebody with new ideas. And I'd like to see somebody who's really into the analytics side and puck possession, because that's huge in the NHL right now. It's part of how Carolina's become so dominant, is that's what they look for. And also to have a general manager who has a really good eye for scouting, both when it comes to the pros that are on other teams and amateurs. So somebody who has a scouting background would be great. And somebody who is, looking at the analytics side and looking for players who are underutilized on other teams to bring to Vancouver. An example would be, look at Ty Cartier with the Rangers. He was invisible most of the season with Seattle. Gets put on waivers. The Rangers pick him up, and he was great for the Rangers after that. So that's one of those players that the Canucks should have picked up. Ty Cartier would have been excellent for the Canucks after picking him up off waivers if the Canucks had done it. And I think he would have been exactly the kind of player that they needed. But here we are. So I'm not optimistic about the GM search for Vancouver at all. Not even a little. I will not be surprised if, when they announce the new GM, if I either laugh, I'm not going to cry. The days of crying are over because the apathy's taken over. I may get a chuckle out of it. You might get a sigh. You might get a hefty sigh from me on that. I might bite my lip enough to make it pop up like this too. Adam Henrique is going to miss Game 2 for the Edmonton Oilers, who got hurt in last night's Game 1. And last night was the first time this season, and of course regular season and playoffs, where they got a win while McDavid didn't have any points. So they proved that they don't have to have McDavid points-wise. Certainly McDavid was prominent, just didn't end up getting an assist or a goal in the game. So the Oilers get the victory. We'll see how things go in Game 2. That's got to be bad news for Anaheim, though. You keep McDavid off the board and you lose. Might be a bad omen there. So Carlisle is out tonight for Tampa. Dastu is going to be, Carlisle's in, Dastu's out. Almost got that backwards. So Dastu got hurt in the last game. We had a feeling he wasn't playing this game. Carlisle's going to be in his place. They're also taking out Connor Geekie and putting in Scott Sabourin. That tells me we might get that 100 hit game that I've been waiting for, and maybe the fighty game that we've been waiting for in these playoffs too. When Scott Sabourin goes in, generally that means Tampa's not messing around, and we might get some punching. So we'll see how that all turns out. Rope Hintz is now listed as unlikely for Game 4. So I said yesterday, Game 3, we'll see what they say about Game 4. Now it's Game 4. So for a player who's getting closer and closer, for those keeping track at home, that's at least a week into the playoffs he wouldn't be playing. I don't think he's going to play the first round. I don't think Hintz is playing the first round, and that's tough. It's a 1-1 series. There is a chance that Minnesota gets the win in the series. There's also the chance it goes the full 7. We'll see how things go and whether or not Hintz is able to come back at some point later on in the series, but I don't think he's going to. So we have 4 games tonight in the NHL, and it is the same start times as last night. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Montreal playing Tampa. Montreal, of course, ahead one game to none in the series. That's going to be magic. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to love this game. Of the series that are being played, this is probably the most entertaining. Although, at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Buffalo's looking for a 2-0 series lead on Boston. Boston, of course, looking to bounce back and tie the series. This game ended up being ridiculously exciting in the third period. So, yeah, the 2 early games are really going to be an amazing show one way or the other. Then we get to the later games, starting at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Utah playing in Vegas. Vegas gets the 1-0 series lead with basically playing their style of hockey and getting Utah to play their style of hockey, which I don't think suits Utah all that well. So look and see if there's any kind of difference in how the teams play tonight based on the last game. But yeah, 1-0 series lead for Vegas right now. Colorado with the 1-0 series lead on LA. That game starts at 10 o'clock Eastern. So half an hour separation between the 2 late games, half an hour separation between the 2 early games. I understand it's designed that way so that there's almost always hockey on that's continuous. Personally, I prefer if they're on at the same time. If we had 2 7 o'clock starts and 2 10 o'clock starts, I'm using Eastern times. But that's me. That's just me. At any rate, yeah, the ratings are going pretty well, and we'll talk about that towards the end of this. But those are your 4 games tonight. So let me know your winners in the comment section below, as always. KHL's Shanghai team has named Ilia Kovalchuk as its team president. So good on Kovalchuk, one of the best goal scorers of his generation in the National Hockey League, and now he is team president for Shanghai. So I'm not surprised that he's in a management role. He did seem to tend towards that as a player. There are certain players you can tell that they're smart, they're leaders, and Kovalchuk always had that, gave that impression to me anyway. So yeah, he should do pretty well. The Nashville Predators, who barely missed the playoffs, very, very barely, they're anticipating it's going to be a quiet summer, and they're going to focus on 2027. So quiet summer meaning not going out looking for a bunch of free agents, not selling guys off. Keep things mainly as they are, probably adds where they make sense, and go for the playoffs. The basic message out of this is Nashville's not going into a rebuild. So good news for their fans, good news for their players, that there will not be a rebuild in Nashville. Not at this point. Maybe if they miss next year and if they miss by a bunch, maybe they go into some sort of rebuild. But at this point, nope. They're going to try to get into the playoffs for 2027. The Washington Capitals would like to know Ovechkin's plans beyond the season that we're still seeing the playoffs for, going into the draft. So they have a contingency plan for if he retires. I would imagine all season they've been working on this. And so once they know whether or not he's going to retire, he's going to stay, they can then put their plans into action. But they would like to know before the draft. The draft, of course, being around the end of June. That's plenty of time. Plenty of time off for him to meet with the family and talk to people and decide whatever he's going to do going forward. So we should have an answer from Ovechkin on what his plans are. And then that will determine the actions taken by Washington after that. So my guess is that while they're already looking to add forwards in the offseason, if Ovechkin retires, then you add to what you're looking for. Then you say, now we need a really top goal scorer to go along with whatever other forwards we were seeking. Marcus Foligno, after last night's game, said that the Stars cannot hang at 5-on-5 against the Wild. I don't know. I don't know if they can't hang 5-on-5 with the Wild. I know that the Wild are a good team. I know Dallas can be as well. Dallas can be very unpredictable. One game they might play a great full 60 minutes, and the next game you might get 10 good minutes out of them. They're very all over the place. This is just your standard stuff that gets said during a playoff series. I don't read a whole lot into it. He may very well be correct, sure, but I don't read a whole lot into it. I don't think it's necessarily that big a deal. And the Folignos are known for a little bit of chirping here and there, just a little bit, just some. ESPN posting that this regular season they got their most viewers since the new rights deal went into effect in the 2021-2022 season. An average per game of 760,000 viewers. That is up 30% from last year. So it's growth. The numbers are still not, I think, where we'd like to see them. I think we'd like to see them a little bit higher. But growth is good. And they also had some growth in the regular season last year over the year before. So the TV rights deal seems to be working well, but it's working slowly, and those improvements are coming slowly. So when the contract's up, is ESPN going to want to give more money to the NHL, or are they not? There's definitely questions to be asked there, but we'll see. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Can't stand this fat lip. Can't stand it. Outside of that, I feel fine. So wasn't nearly as invasive as the first couple of times. The first time, that first quadrant he did up here, that was major. That took about 3 hours. It was a lot. And so today I was glad it was less teeth and it wasn't anywhere near as involved as the last time. And then in a few weeks I'm getting this side done. So then the fat lip comes over here, and then we'll all joke at the guy with the fat lip in a few weeks' time. So thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.